Hello! Today, this video is about learning languages. Woo! I'm so tired, okay? I just got off of work. Yesterday, I asked you guys on Instagram if you'd like to see my journey in using Pimsleur to learn as much Korean as I can in 7 days, which is basically using the free trial right before they charge you $20 every month. Wow. Something cool about this that I didn't realize is they now have added like a lot of components or whatever since I've last heard of Pimsleur, because at first it used to be just purely audio. You would just listen to it and repeat it. Like they'd only have CDs. I guess that was like way back in the day when I first heard about them. But now, you know, they've got the desktop version and like little lessons where you can read stuff and, you know, do little quizzes and, you know, listen on your phone and whatever. Like they've got a whole lot more stuff happening now. I'm sure that's going to be very, very useful to me. I wanted to see how much Korean I could learn, and you guys said,
yeah, why not? We'll follow that journey.
Also, I feel like I'm sort of cheating because I'm not starting out at ground zero. I've been learning Korean forever, but I've never like sat down and really delved into it. Okay, well, I've taken classes on it and I got to intermediate level, but I haven't like used it like that. My speaking is still kind of off. It's only gotten worse over time because I don't really use Korean in my daily life. I would like to get back to at least the intermediate level of speaking. My listening wasn't that good either. Like listening is just kind of like, if you're not saying exactly how I read it in the book, like I can't understand you. The downside to learning from a book, you only understand those specific words, but if they get put in a different sentence structure, but basically saying the same thing, like you won't understand. Let's see my journey. Day 1, Sunday, March 15th of 2020, I started learning Korean. Yeah. Excuse the thing in my hair. I'm trying to hold it all together right now. I begrudgingly did lesson 1 just to kind of, you know, get a feel for the program. I'm not gonna lie, I was dying. Whole lesson was 30 minutes. I just begrudgingly sat there and repeated it after them, even though I understood the whole conversation. It's fine. It's a very easy lesson for me. It was the conversation. Hello, nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too. Do you come from America? Yes, I came from America. Do you speak Korean? Do you speak English? Very simple. So it would go like this. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다. 저도 반갑습니다. 미국에서 오셨어요? 네, 미국에서 왔습니다. 한국어 하세요? 조금요. 영어 하세요? 네. So yes, that's how the conversation went, and I was dying the whole time. They start with 안녕하세요. They say the full word, and then they go, yo. And you're like, huh? So it's like 안녕하세요, yo, 하세요. And like it goes like that the whole time for every single word. And like, oh my gosh. I took the first lesson to get the feel of what's happening. I think I'm gonna be really brave. I'm gonna skip to lesson 3 to see what's happening. I realize what this program needs is kind of a skill tester, if that makes sense. They just basically put you in the lesson that benefit you first. Duolingo does. Like they'll be like, all right, let's see where you are in Korean. And then they plop you in a lesson and then, you know, you go from there instead of, you know, going back through the basics. I think it's okay to reinforce the basics, but for me, I've reinforced the basics so many times throughout the years. Mind you, I've probably been learning Korean half of my life now at this point. It is March 16th. I'm going to do another lesson, but I also want to take a nap because I just got off work not too long ago. I'm laying in bed. I was going through the little quiz thingy that they have for each lesson. I determined that I would literally go all the way up to lesson 30 knowing all of this stuff. In order to not cheat too much, I'm gonna double up lessons because I'm not going to focus too much on like already knowing the content. I'll practice on my pronunciation. Today is March 17th. I know I said yesterday that I would do 2 lessons at a time, but I end up forgetting and then just cleaning my room instead. So today I'm going to continue with lesson 3 and 4. I'm going to do them today, not literally back to back. Like I'll give myself some time throughout the day to do that. I realized that I have a problem somewhat following it because like I know different forms of the stuff that they were teaching. The phrase, do you speak Korean? Which was 한국말 하세요? I kept trying to say 할 줄 알아요, and that's not what they're teaching. Uh-oh. I know the other forms. 한국말 하세요? 아니요, 잘 못해요. There's some point where I kept trying to switch the ending to 하시네요, like 잘 하시네요, but that's not what they're teaching. So I'm just trying to follow directly what they're doing.
How does she say, it's good weather?
날씨 좋은데요.
날씨 좋습니다.
날씨 좋습니다. Oh my gosh. 날씨 좋습니다.
날씨 좋습니다.
점심 드셨어요?
점심 드셨어요?
점심 드셨어요?
But it's morning. How does she ask, have you had breakfast?
아침 드셨어요?
아침 드셨어요?
Today is March 18th, and I did do a lesson for today, but it was really finishing up on what I was doing yesterday, which was lesson 4, so I didn't really start a new lesson today. I was just like not in the mood. Tomorrow, I promise, I'm gonna do 5 and 6, or at least 5 and half of 6, because man, honestly, I'm sort of bored with them, just me repeating them. You know, I feel like it makes it more automatic instead of me having to think about it. So like, I understand, I get it. 아직 잘 못해요.
하지만 아직 잘 못해요.
하지만 아직 잘 못해요.
Do you remember how to ask, where is?
어디?
어디예요?
어디예요? Today is, what is it, March 20th or something? I'm about to do lesson 6. Quite honestly, earlier I just finished lesson 5 because I couldn't finish it last night because I wasn't really in the mood to do that. So I just finished lesson 6, this time very quickly in comparison to me doing it the last times. So I was really focused. One thing I've noticed is I have issues using the polite, well, the formal form of everything. Saying I eat is 먹어요, but the polite form for somebody else is 드셨어요. I've never used that before. Throughout the lessons, it's like, did you eat? And I'm like, 먹었어요? And I'm like, wait, did she get, you know, it's just like, I'm just sitting there trying to remember the polite form. At the end of this lesson, we learned how to say 미안합니다, which I've never used the 합니다 form. I've always used 미안해요, but you know, obviously it's beginner. We don't know about the conjugations just yet. Today is March 21st, question mark? I don't know. I can't keep track of the days. Yesterday, I did lesson 7 right before I went to bed. I'm having trouble with the word 물tom. Like, I've never used that word ever, and I guess technically that's me learning something new, but I can't remember it when the guy's like, can you ask them, are you going to eat? And like, I just sit there and I'm like, what? I just sit there and I go, 시작했어요? And then out of nowhere, you know, the person that repeats you, or you're supposed to be repeating, they say, 물좀 드시겠어요? And I'm like, 물좀? What? Why do I need to say that word? I'm gonna get it. Because they started introducing new things. But I was just sitting there like, 물좀 드시겠어요? 물좀 드시겠어요? 물좀 드시겠어요? Just so like I'd remember it. And today is technically the last day of the free 7-day trial. As you can see, I barely got as far as I wanted to. But it was still beneficial. So I think I'm going to keep it. I just finished doing lesson 8. I figured I would stop this daily update here. As I said before, I'm actually going to continue using Pimsleur because they have 3 whole sections with 30 different lessons in each one of them. So like, it's a lot of content. So I don't think I'd have the consistency to record the whole way through every single day. but I will be still doing it every single day. So far, I do like this program. I'm still in the beginning stages and it's sort of annoying to be like, all right, I'll follow what they're saying. Literally, it forces you to remember what the heck the words were, like not even a minute after they teach you. So like you'll learn the words all right. You know, I know some 마시겠어요 and, you know, 드시겠어요 and 뭘 좀 사겠어요. Like I know that now. Like the dude will like walk you through and he will make you remember like right on the spot. It's definitely better than doing it directly by yourself. Like, all right,
let me open the dictionary. You know, what's the word for buy? Okay, 사다. All right, write that down and start learning the conjugations, you know.
이제 이 비디오를 끝났는데 다음 비디오에 봐요. 안녕히 계세요.
Subscribe.